Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This also happens to be my lunch, so let's hope for the best. And I expect it, but we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Dragon Ball shirt, which, man, do I love this shirt. It's just such a cool shirt. Like, I love the design. I love, like, the stylistic way they did it with, like, the, you know, the red and the yellow on the black, or white and black. It's just very neat. If by some chance you don't know what Dragon Ball is, most people are probably familiar with the Dragon Ball series in one capacity or another, either through the Z Saga, or then, you know, maybe GT. Currently, they're obviously on the Super, plus they've done films. It's been a whole Dragon Ball extravaganza. But this is where it actually started, with the original Dragon Ball series. And for me personally, not trying to be a hipster, but, you know, I personally like the Dragon Ball series the most. You know, I actually started out with Z, like most people around my age, you know. UPN first, then eventually Toonami. And, you know, still really like Z. I think it's a quality series. It gets a little bit near the end, but, you know, still pretty good overall. But when I finally got the opportunity to get into the original Dragon Ball, I just found that I liked it a lot more. It just had more charm into it, and I don't know, I just like it more. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why do I expect good things? Well, that's because I decided to hop on out to, boom, Dak Dak Korean Wings, which is a local establishment that I reviewed a number of things from over the past, you know, maybe a year or so now, something like that. But yeah, they're a local wing spot that basically specialize in kind of a, you know, some very interesting style chicken wings. Some, you know, tend to be kind of Korean or Asian inspired. And, well, they have a new flavor of the month. So, boom! But what are these? These are their blueberry and maple wings. Ooh, that sounds so good. And apparently it consists of blueberry, pure maple syrup, and lemon. Yay! So, yeah. And by the way, I just want to mention, what with this being a local establishment, this review is going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local Illinois spots and stuff like that. You just kind of highlight them a little bit. So let's go ahead, let's open it up. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. How is that a real thing? Oh man, when I saw, because I follow their Facebook page, as you'd imagine, and when I saw that this was their new flavor, I was like, I gotta get in on that. Look at this, it's purple. Let's get a thing for the thing. Looks like this. Let's give it a go. One thing I really like about Dak Dak is that their bone-in or boneless wings cost the same. Most wing places, bone-in costs more. I love that crunch that you get with Dak Dak. Every single time, no matter what sauce you're getting. Always perfectly cooked wings. Oh, that's so good. Sorry, I'm not saying much. I'm hungry. So, it's kind of interesting. Especially with Dak Dak. Their wings, especially their flavors, they tend to be very, very, very punchy with their flavors. So I'm a little bit surprised that these are a little bit more mild with the flavor. And I guess maybe that's because they didn't want to go, like, too heavy with it, you know, like, because it is such a unusual flavor for what you would get for wings typically. So it's a little bit lighter than I was expecting. But it's still nice. It's got a nice kind of freshness to it. Try to get one of the ones at the bottom that's a little bit more saucy. Okay, there we go. Yeah. That's more what I was expecting. Because, yeah, the top one, I think it's just the bottom, the sauce, you know, because, like, I had to drive from there to here, so, yeah, okay. That's more along the lines of what I was expecting. Yeah, so you get a stronger hit of the blueberry. It's actually really nice. Like, it's a very well balanced flavor of wing. It's not as, like, this is one of those things where it could have really fucked up easily if you went too heavy with it one way or another. But it's nice. I'm going to be honest, though. As much as I love Dak Dak, and I really do, I think they're a great establishment, this one isn't as big a hit as I was hoping for. I have to admit, I was hoping for punchier flavor. Because even though this one definitely has a stronger flavor than the first one I did, yeah, I don't know, I was expecting a stronger maple flavor, stronger blueberry flavor. Like, it's there. But it's not jumping out at me the way I expect from them. Yeah. Like, I still like it. Still think it's tasty, but I came into this being like, oh man, this is going to be the absolute, you know, best of the best flavor that I've ever had. And it's good, but, yeah. I don't think it's for lack of, ideas, or, you know, that, like, it's a bad flavor pairing or anything. I think the idea is great, but, yeah, this is just kind of a weird one, because, you know, like I said, with Dak Dak, every time I've ever had one of their flavors, it's really screamed at me with the flavor. This one, it's just a little bit too mild, you know? And like I said, maybe that was an intentional thing. You know, maybe it's just how the sauce came out in this particular instance. I don't know. But, you know, yeah. It's a little bit unfortunate. Like I said, I mean, the wings themselves are great. Like, they're cooked perfectly. The chicken is very tasty. I love the crunch on it. The crunch is fantastic. But obviously the sauce has to be the highlight, and I just kind of feel like with this one, yeah, it's not the way I was hoping. That's a real shame. Well, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get him again? Would I recommend him? Yeah, this is kind of a tough one. So, I'm going to go with yes, and give me a little bit. Because here's the thing. Would I get these again? Yes, but why I would do so is because I'd like to try them again. Because this just doesn't feel quite on point for Dak Dak, you know? And at the end of the day, you know, it has to be surmised that, you know, there's going to be days when you're just a little bit off. It just seems kind of hard for me to buy into the idea that, you know, with all my experiences being so good with them, you know, that this would kind of be lackluster the way it is. Especially since, again, I think the idea is really there. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll do a redemption review on this one. Like I said, it is their flavor of the month, and at the time I'm doing this, you know, we're almost near the end of the month, so, you know, I'll have to try to get in within the next, like, week or so. But I think I would, because I want this to succeed, you know, and I think that this could be, I have to have faith in Dak Dak, you know. By that same token, though, if I'm going over there, if I'm going to recommend it, I can't quite do that for these in particular. I can recommend Dak Dak all day up, you know, just up, down, left, and right, what have you, because I think they're a great establishment. But, you know, this is one of those instances where, even though I really like the establishment, and, you know, I always like to, you know, help promote local establishments, I just can't quite with this one, you know? You know, if I get around to doing the redemption review, hopefully that will change, but like I said, I will always represent Dak Dak because I think they're really great. But this flavor, I just, at least until I have a second sampling, I just can't recommend it, I think it's a great idea, but I think the implementation in this one, it just didn't quite come through, which is really sad. But, especially since it's my lunch. But anyway, five things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly, hopefully living up to your expectations, tastic rest of your life. Because, I think that's what we all hope for. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, I'm not going to lie. It's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. And I mentioned this before. When it comes to going out to eat, don't let one occurrence be what you base your entire experience off of. Always be willing to give places another shot. I shouldn't say always. Obviously, if something's really bad, it's really bad. But I personally found in my experience that more often than not, when I go over there and I give a place another opportunity, they find a way to redeem themselves, And in this instance, this is a place that I really like. And while it's not a bad meal by any means, I'm still going to enjoy it for what it is disappointing, And it kind of goes to show, I'm not going to go over there and be like, oh, I'm not going to Dak Dak anymore, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, no, I'm going to go over there. When I get the opportunity, I'll kick back in, hopefully do a redemption review, and, hopefully it'll be a more solid experience. But anyway, bye.